Mark had always considered himself a lucky man. He had a stable job, a comfortable home, and a wife, Clara, whose smile could light up the darkest room. They had been together for 7 years, married for 5, and to Mark, their life was a picture of suburban bliss. But lately, a shadow had crept into that picture, a nagging feeling he couldn't quite shake. It started subtly. Clara began working late more often. "Big project at the office," she'd say, looking tired but determined. Mark, ever the supportive husband, would have a warm dinner waiting for her, no questions asked. Then came the girls' nights out, which seemed to be happening almost every weekend. "We're just letting off steam, honey," she'd explain with a quick kiss on his cheek before heading out. He believed her. Why wouldn't he? Trust was the foundation of their marriage. But the excuses started to become more frequent and a little less plausible. A sudden weekend business trip to a city just an hour away. A last-minute book club meeting that lasted until 2 a.m. Mark would call or text, and her phone would often go straight to voicemail, followed by a text hours later. "Sorry, phone died," or "bad reception in the restaurant." Each time a small knot of doubt tightened in his stomach, but he'd push it down. He loved Clara. He trusted her. Accusing her of something terrible felt like a betrayal in itself. He told himself he was just being paranoid, that his own insecurities were getting the better of him. One Friday evening, Clara announced another girls' night. "It's Sarah's birthday," she said, applying her lipstick in the bathroom mirror. "We're going to that new Italian place downtown and then maybe for some dancing." Mark smiled and wished her a good time. He settled onto the couch, planning a quiet night with a movie and takeout. He scrolled through his social media feed, liking photos of friends' kids and vacation spots. That's when he saw it. It was a post from Sarah, the very friend whose birthday Clara was supposedly celebrating. Sarah had posted a photo just an hour ago. The picture showed her, her husband, and their dog, all cuddled up on a couch. The caption read, "Cozy Friday night in with my favorite boys. Nothing better than movie night." Mark's blood ran cold. He reread the caption, checked the timestamp, and looked at the photo again. There was no restaurant, no party, just Sarah at home. His heart began to pound in his chest. Where was Clara? He tried calling her. Straight to voicemail. He sent a text. "Hey, hope you're having fun. Just checking in." Silence. The movie on the TV was just background noise now. His mind was racing, replaying every late night, every unanswered call, every flimsy excuse. Was it all a lie? The foundation of trust he had built their life on suddenly felt like it was crumbling into sand beneath his feet. He felt a fool, an absolute blind fool for believing it all without question. Hours crawled by. Around 1 a.m., he heard her key in the lock. Clara walked in, humming a cheerful tune. "Oh, honey, you're still up?" she asked, kicking off her heels. "How was the party?" Mark asked, his voice steady despite the storm raging inside him. "Oh, it was so much fun," she chirped. "The pasta was amazing, and we danced for hours. I'm exhausted." She was lying right to his face, with a bright, convincing smile. He took a deep breath, trying to control the tremor in his hands. "That's funny," Mark said quietly, his voice dangerously calm. "Because I saw a photo of Sarah. She posted about having a quiet movie night at home with her husband." Clara's smile froze on her face. The color drained from her cheeks. For a moment she was completely still, her eyes wide with panic. The silence in the room was deafening, broken only by the ticking of the clock on the wall. "Mark, there's an explanation," she stammered, her voice barely a whisper. But Mark wasn't listening to the excuses anymore. He had already decided that morning what he needed to do. While Clara was sleeping, he'd packed a small bag. He had spent the night on the couch, not sleeping, just thinking. He replayed their entire relationship in his mind, searching for signs he had missed. But it was no use. The trust was shattered, and he knew it could never be repaired. When Clara finally came clean, confessing to a months-long affair with a co-worker, Mark felt a strange sense of calm. The pain was immense, a deep, hollow ache in his chest, but the uncertainty was gone. He knew this was the end of his marriage, but it was also the beginning of his journey to healing. He realized that true strength wasn't about blindly trusting someone who was deceiving you. It was about having the courage to face the truth, no matter how painful, and choosing to value yourself enough to walk away from a situation that was breaking you. It would be a long and difficult road, but for the first time in months, Mark felt like he could finally see the path forward, a path that led away from the shadows of deceit and back into the light. The picture from Sarah hadn't just exposed a lie, it had set him free. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content. We appreciate your support more than you know. See you in the next one.